Oh, you just pressed play on This Week with Drunk Astrology. My name is Graham Breitenstein. I'm your astrologer and the creator of Drunk Astrology. If you're looking for someone to make astrology make sense to you and for you, well, my friend, you have come to the right place. Here on this podcast, we discuss the weekly cosmic weather. And when we break it down, we break it down. I believe that astrology can be used as a tool to inform your daily decisions and enhance your day-to-day life. So if you're ready to have a hell of a lot of fun with astrology, make some strategic decisions, and to just keep it real, well, that journey starts right now. Happy Sunday, folks, and welcome to the podcast for the week of September 26th through October 2nd, 2022. The 10th month of the year begins this week. Can you even believe it? Summer has, I guess, officially ended. We had the fall equinox. Libra season began last week. And as of today, at 2:55 p.m. Pacific, the Libra new moon has hit. You are meant to manifest for relationships, for balance, for harmony, for justice, there's an injustice component in there too, but we're manifesting just and fairness and love and loyalty and respect and compromise, negotiation. All of those themes are up. If you are on the Cosmic News Train, the Drunk Astrology newsletter, then you already have this new moon's manifestation webinar in your inbox. So make sure you get that in so that you can manifest where you have that extra little bit of juju. If you're not already on the news list, make sure you go to the show notes in the box below and click that link. And all you got to do is put your email in. And you'll get all the latest horoscopes and the fresh new and full moon reports every single time. So as far as this week's goes, folks, we got a busy week. And I know I've been alluding to this in previous podcasts as we've built up, pretty much from August on. But now it's beginning. The rest of this year is... what are the words? The rest of this year is very busy. It's very potent. We have a lot of aspects. We have a lot of movement, especially when we get to October. I'm going to be sending out a fresh monthly horoscope to everyone on the news train, just looking at the month ahead, because in October, we've got so many planets pivoting. Like the outer planets, they've been retrograde for a second, and now in October, Pluto turns back direct, Saturn turns back direct, Mars stations retrograde, Mercury stations direct. So we have a lot of transitions, we have a lot of pivoting happening in the midst of eclipse season beginning. So we're coming up. October is definitely worthy of a preview, okay? So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to send that out to everyone on the news train. So you'll be getting that probably this weekend. But as far as this week goes, we just have almost every single day a major aspect happening. The only days that aren't like that are Wednesday the 28th and Friday the 30th. Every other day is just, it's got major aspects. The planets are making major aspects. Now, we still have Mercury retrograde. However, this coming Sunday, it's over, right? We'll still have that post-retrograde phase after, but as of this week, on Sunday, Mercury will station direct, and hallelujah, once we clear that foggy phase, that retrograde shadow, then we're all systems go on the Mercury front. Now, before he does that, he's going to meet up with Venus this week. He's going to have his second link up with Pluto, which is one of the defining aspects that he's been making while retrograde. This aspect is why I've been saying, despite all the Mercury retrograde annoyances, it is bringing about a season of positive change because of how he's working with Pluto. It's so supported. It's so collaborative. It's so juicy that the changes that are taking place are positive. If you feel a little overwhelmed, the other side, the other aspect that's been dominating Mercury's retrograde is in opposition to Jupiter. Jupiter is optimistic. He's a supersizer, so he maximizes whatever he touches, wherever he lands in your chart, and wherever this opposition is taking place, he's growing it. He's expanding it. You might not have all the details you need yet, but it's getting bigger. So it can make you feel a little overwhelmed. It can make you feel like, am I doing too much too soon? This is really fast. I don't know. It's all towards growth and expansion, but it could come without limits, right? So we want to take from now the Libra quality of what we have now with the sun in Libra, with Venus this week entering Libra. Now we want to restore balance. We want to create, okay, let me not overcommit and underdeliver. That's the idea. So on top of everything we've already talked about, the sun is going to have an opposition to Jupiter this week. Venus is going to have an opposition to Jupiter. So we get this call towards growth, towards expansion. Yes, can feel a little overwhelming and, oh my gosh, can I do this? But it just, events this week, conversations this week, movement this week requires balance. So make sure wherever you're getting this like exhaustive component, wherever that's falling for you, that you balance it out. You know, you're going to have to give yourself some, you might have to impose limits on yourself. Like, okay, I can only work until this time so that I have a good 4 hours to myself before I go to sleep, or adjust to make that make sense for you. But that's the idea. Like I already said, Venus is going to enter Libra this week, so now she gets out of finicky, critical, analytical Virgo, and she gets into one of her favorite signs of Libra. So we're going to have Sun and Venus, and Sun's answering to Venus, and right now she's in Virgo, answering to Mercury retrograde. That's no fun. But as of Thursday, she's going to enter her favorite sign, and she's going to be calling the shots. So she's really going to be helping us take the work that we've accomplished during Virgo season and now partner up, collaborate, work within partnerships. Virgo can be a little bit of a solo sign, and it can say, oh, I'm going to do everything because the way I do it is better. But Libra says, well, but you can teach someone else. You can bring in someone that you trust. You can ask for support and just show them your way, right? Teach your way so that you can get more done in a less amount of time. It's actually the more efficient thing to do, Virgo. That should really talk to you. That should really speak to you. And then the Virgo goes, oh, yeah, that's right. I don't have to do everything myself. I'm speaking as as the Virgo that I am. Also, towards the end of the week, we have a Capricorn quarter moon. So we know quarter moon days are stressful. That's the same day that Mercury stations direct. So if you can't tell, we got a lot of energy going. And that's, we're going to break it down. Okay, so first and foremost, before we get into the moons, I just want to say thank you to everyone who attended and participated in the Virgo Season Self-Care Challenge. We had 40 people this year, which more than I think tripled. Yeah, we more than tripled the participation last year. And tomorrow, Monday, September 26th, I'm going to go live on Instagram at 3:30 p.m. Pacific, and I'm going to pick 3 winners. 3 winners from that self-care challenge. So the third place is going to pick either a candle or a body oil. Drunk Astrology, if you don't know already, Drunk Astrology has zodiac candles and cosmic body oils, fragrance blends for all 12 signs. You can check that out on the website. Second place is going to get a candle and an oil. And the first place is going to win an oil, a candle, and a 30-minute oracle card reading with yours truly. So it's going to be really big. It's going to be really fun. And the idea of the self-care challenge is by the end of it to create this healthy habit. And what I'm realizing from the feedback that I've received from those that participated this year was it implemented that question, what have I done for myself today? And that's the magic sauce right there. And it's done the same for me. As a Virgo, I get so inundated with my day-to-day, with my details, with the, with all the work that I need to do. And it's just ad nauseum, work, 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 work. But even for me, during the challenge, it would be 10 o'clock, and I'd go, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything for myself yet. I didn't do the workout that I wanted to do in the morning. Oh, I'm really sore from the workout I did yesterday. Let me actually just take a bath. Let me just soak. I've never, it's crazy. And now I find myself in my own mind saying every single day, what have I done for myself? And that's the idea. So even if you didn't participate, take that with you. That question, that habitual question on a daily basis to say, have I done anything for myself today? That is where you start some amazing habits. And that's what I hope to spread. And so next year when we do it, I hope we quadruple. I hope we 5 times, quintuple the amount of participants we had this year. I just love it. I love it. I love seeing what everyone does. I love that healthy habits are formed because that's the gift of Virgo. So without further ado, let's talk about the moons this week, and then we'll get into the planets. So Monday, September 26th, the moon is in Libra. It has an opposition to Chiron in the afternoon. That's all right. It's Chiron transiting with the moon like this. It can just bring up self-doubt. It can bring up, a little bit of like sadness. It can do a little bit of a wounding within partnerships. But that the deeper side of Chiron is like, but you're doing the work. You're doing the work, or asking you, am I doing the work? Am I triggered and just reacting, or instead of reacting, should I process where this is coming from? That's the idea. All the other aspects that day are great, and we'll get into the planets later. On Tuesday the 27th, the Libra moon goes void at 9:21 a.m. with a square to Pluto. Remember, all the times I give you in this podcast are in Pacific Daylight, so be sure to adjust for your time zones. So void at 9:21 a.m. on Tuesday with a square to Pluto. That makes that Libra moon a little tense, a little friction-inducing. Remember, squares are an energy of overcoming. Action. An action is needed in order to overcome the friction or the tension. At 4:15 p.m., the moon enters Scorpio, and it is in Scorpio all day, the rest of the afternoon on Tuesday, all day Wednesday. Thursday the 29th, the Scorpio moon is ridiculously busy. Now, most of the aspects are happening in the middle of the night, but it moves on into the day. The Scorpio moon on Thursday goes void at 2:20 p.m. with a sextile to Pluto. So that's positive forward motion, positive change on a deep level, on an emotional level. So you're making positive changes. Now, it could be things that you're excited about. It could be things that you're nervous about. It can be like, oh my gosh, like I'm just a little anxious. Like, this is kind of deep. Remember, Pluto hasn't moved. He's at 26 degrees of Capricorn. He's just chilling. He does move into Aquarius next year, but right now he is parked at 26 degrees of Capricorn. So he is really digging in. So if you look at your chart and you have anything at 26 degrees of Capricorn or in a cardinal sign, Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, then Pluto is talking to that part of your chart. And it's intense, and it's evolutionary, it's transformative. So just know that the changes that are taking place, they might seem like that the universe is after you, but it's not. It's not. It's evolving you. It's transforming you. Nothing changes without things changing. Okay, so void at 2:20 p.m. on Thursday, and then at 9:03 p.m. the moon enters Sagittarius, has a lovely sextile to Venus at 11:04 p.m. It's in Sag all day Friday, only making 3 lovely aspects, so that's a great big energy, expansive, just a great energy on Friday. Could be a come down from the other days of the week. But Sagittarius is really out and about, so you might not be like relaxing on Friday, but it's a very like jovial, nice. The moon loves being in Sagittarius. It's one of Jupiter's signs, so it's just expansive and jovial, optimistic, and explorative. Then Saturday, October 1st, Holy Lord. Oh gosh, that means rent is due, mortgage is due. But the Sag moon on Saturday goes void at 2:46 p.m. with a square to Mercury. So, there could be a little bit of words had under this Sag moon. It could be a little blunt, can be a little, you might say things, or someone around you might say things they regret. Doesn't necessarily have to be you or to you, but it can just be around you, people in general, depending on where you're going. If you have any like family meetups or, big group outings from Friday and Saturday, just watch it, because somebody might be real hot-tongued, might be really sharp shooting with the tongue. Then on Sunday, October 2nd, the moon enters Capricorn just after midnight, 12:38 a.m. And Sunday is just, it's busy, it's stressful. It's kind of, the moon makes 3 square aspects, one of which is to the sun, which is the quarter moon. So Sunday might be one of those days that you kind of like hunker down. Because there's a lot. There's a square to Jupiter. There's a square to Venus. There's a square to the sun. It's just like, okay, we get it. And a Capricorn moon is afflicted, right? So that's a little bit depressive. It can be a little isolated. It can be withdrawn. Eyes on the prize, though, when it comes to work and when it comes to ambition and when it comes to goals and being goal-oriented, that Capricorn moon is unlike any other. So you just kind of want to, like, quarter moons are stressful days, yes, but it's really like about balancing out, right? Balance between home and work life. And especially because a lot of us are working from home now, you just want to like make sure that you're creating a healthy balance between the two. Make sure you're loving up on your family, loving up on your loved ones, or like just having a good time, letting your hair down a little bit. Capricorn, and then get your work done, yes, but Sunday can just be one of those days where you want to offload, just to give space. And then the Capricorn moon goes void on Monday with a conjunction to Pluto. It can go either way. Again, it's just all about change. You see how all the moons this week, their closing aspects, other than the Sag moon, their closing aspects are to Pluto. So man. And with Mercury linking up with Pluto again this week, we really have Plutonian aspects. So, there's some endings there. I was talking to one of my best friends, and we were talking about how, like, this feels like this mega chapter, like, major chapters are ending as new ones are beginning, and it's this simultaneous glob of movement, right? So it's like things I didn't know I needed to end a chapter are now like seamlessly happening at the same time as new ones are beginning. And what I've been imagining in my mind is like, okay, if it's in your heart, it's in your chart, let's find it in the chart. Well, Pluto is slow. It's alchemical, right? We're mixing and mastering all at the same time, right? So a heavy period, a heavy chapter, it ends and you didn't even know, like, oh, consciously I'm good, I feel good, but then Pluto talking about the subconscious, the sub layers. There was an element of you that, yes, on the surface you're fine and you're moving forward, but underneath there was a need for closure. There was a need for a wrap up, so that your soul can now come out of its shell and arise in the next version of itself. That's really what we're working through. When we're working through Pluto, we're talking really deep, heavy stuff. So just honor that, especially this week when there's so many aspects. Honor the fact that you are, a season of change isn't just like a tagline. That's like, damn, you've been through some ish, and now it might be happening all at the same time for you, but now it's like you're coming out. We're inching our way out as we get to October, and these outer planets pivot direct, and Mercury included, and then Mars goes back and says, hey, let's revise the strategy. Now that you've woken up, now let's slow the pace down so that we make sure we're on the same page and that we're making steps and at the right pace. Because this Libra new moon, I'm telling you, by the time we get to March next year, you're going to be in a completely different landscape. I'm just telling you. Just telling you. All right, let's talk about these. That's it for the moons. So we did good there. Oh, I didn't. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I'm having this pivotal moment. Oh no, I did write it down. Can you tell that this Virgo astrologer's ruling planet is retrograde? Because I sure can. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna continue. Let's talk about these planets. Now, on Monday the 26th, Mercury retrograde meets up with Venus. So hearing from a lover from the past is totally possible. Sweet love notes, if there was a crush that you didn't, ever speak on, or you didn't follow up with, or you were like talking to someone on Hinge or Bumble or Tinder, and you were like, you know what? I kind of want to like talk to you again. I didn't give it all I wanted to give it the first time. Mercury meeting up with Venus, it's like love letters, sweet nothings whispered in your ear or typed in your DMs or sent in a voice note, a text, phone call, FaceTime. If you want to say something to a lover, Monday's the day to do it. That can also be, some kind of communication from a female figure. Astrology needs to change its lingo on some of this because Venus can also be someone in the LGBT community. Hold on, let me make sure I don't mess up all my letters. LGBTQIA+. It can be all in that vein, but hearing something, and it's Mercury's retrograde, so he's actually kind of echoing what the Sun is gonna do next month when he has the Venus star point on October 22nd. And Venus will shift for another 8 months. Now, we're not going to talk about that today, but Mercury's just giving a little preview, a little whisper of what's to come when the Sun meets Venus towards the end of October. And then at 12:33 p.m. on Monday, the Sun has his opposition to Jupiter. So that's that. It can be very positive because Jupiter is one of those benefic planets, right? Venus and Jupiter. Influence is mostly positive, but because Jupiter overdoes it sometimes, and he's in Aries, retrograde, he can have a lot he wants to do or a lot he's committing to, but the Sun in Libra is like, let's hold on, bucko. Let's not take on more than we can chew. The phrase that keeps coming to me when I look at all the oppositions to Jupiter is, don't overpromise and underdeliver. So that's, you can look back to when Mercury had his two oppositions to Jupiter, September 2nd, September 18th, and get an idea of what Mercury was bringing to the table or how that went. That, for me, was the complete redesign of my website that I literally in 48 hours... Actually, no. In 24 hours, I had a completely new website. And then I went, talk about overdoing. I didn't sleep. But then it's like I didn't sleep for the next 6 days because then I had to do all the back end things that were necessary in order to get it all set up. So curious to see what the Sun and Venus bring this week with their oppositions to Jupiter. Then Tuesday the 27th, Mercury retrograde has his second trine to Pluto. Again, this is the tag. This is where I came up with the tagline. This is a season of positive change. So you go back to the first time that Mercury met with Pluto. That was on August 22nd. And just know this is part 2 of a 3-part story. Okay, so the first time you had that link up, that message, that meeting, that discussion, that talk. Now you're coming back and you're revisiting, you're renegotiating, you're discussing again, and then things are implemented and moving forward when Mercury has his third meetup to Pluto on October 6th. Okay, so hopefully you've been practicing patience. If you haven't been hearing back from people, if you've been trying to launch things and it's just not moving, that's Mercury, okay? And that he's just saying, take your time. You know, you don't know what's going on the other side, but I'm here to tell you, your astrologer is telling you, if you don't know and you're nervous about something and you haven't heard and whatever, you're in a season of positive change. Don't sweat. Then at 10:49 p.m. on Tuesday, Mars has a trine to Saturn. So again, positive momentum, positive motion with authority figures. This is like just great. Mars in Gemini is exploring options. Saturn in Aquarius is saying, how do we make this big? How do we go, how do we affect the masses, the community, and the, communities? So that's a great outreach energy. Just great work within community dynamics and, calling on your people for support, right? So if you need some help getting things done, Mars working with Saturn, both are in air signs, just talk about it. Wednesday's the come down day. Scorpio moon just has an adjustment to Chiron. That can just be like a little bout of self-doubt. Don't let self-doubt win. Remember, limiting belief systems. Hell no, we won't go. Thursday, the 29th, Venus enters Libra just after midnight, 12:49 a.m. So, oh my gosh, I can't wait for Venus to be in Libra. Venus in Libra is so magnetic. She is so charming. She is so fun. She is, live loud and proud. She's flirty. She lets loose in Libra, right? She's more, Venus in Taurus is more like seductive. More like a Marilyn Monroe type of like seduction. Venus in Libra is more like a social butterfly. She's so flitty and she's seductive in her charm, right? And she's maybe I will, maybe I won't, maybe I want you, but don't tell me you want me too much because then I'm not going to want you. That's Venus in Libra, and by transit she's just so fun. And when you know people with natal Venus in Libra, they can just be so fun, so charismatic. It's like impossible to deny. It's just what it is. I love that. Venus will be in Libra, I believe. Oh, Graham, that's what I didn't write down. Venus will be in Libra. Let me see if I can find it. Aha! Until October 23rd. So we have several weeks with her there. Lovely. Friday, no planetary action, just the moon making sweet aspects. On Saturday, that is on October 1st, Venus has her opposition to Jupiter at 11:12 a.m. Again, Mercury did it September 2nd, 18th, and will do it the third and final time, October 12th. The Sun just did it on Monday the 26th. So when Venus comes to oppose Jupiter now, it's like, okay, how do we find balance? How do we establish harmony? How do we get this? Again, it's like Venus can be like a female figure, just a powerful figure, or someone that you're in relationship with, that you're moving with. But now it's like the relationship component of all of this, like overwhelm. But this growth and this expansion, right? That's the energy. But, you might just be a little overwhelmed. and it's totally fine. It's all moving in a positive direction, so you have to know that. Even if you're someone that's like pessimistic and like you're like, no, not for me. Like, yeah, no, I just don't really feel it or whatever. It's still there. You just have to shift your perspective. Okay, then Sunday, October 2nd, the Capricorn quarter moon takes place at 5:14 p.m. at 9 degrees, 47 minutes of Capricorn. So if you got anything at 9 degrees, Capricorn, or any of the cardinals, Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, then that quarter moon is talking to you. But quarter moon days are just stressful as is. It's just what it is. There's no other way around it. It is. It's a square. So yes, there's that tension. There's that tension. There's tension and a call for balance. Just needs to be that nice balancing act. So that's Sunday. So, work and home can be a little persnickety. So just keep that in mind. And then Sunday, another big moment. Mercury stations direct at 2:07 a.m. And what I want you to do is just go back to the shadow period. So from August 21st to September 9th, that was chapter 1 of Mercury's retrograde story. Then the meat and potatoes of the retrograde, September 9th through October 2nd. And now he's in what I like to call the cosmic cleanup phase from October 2nd to October 17th. So he's going to revisit that trine to Pluto. He's going to revisit that opposition to Jupiter. But now he's moving forward. So now you have the information that you need, and then you take it all and you move forward. And this week, you're going to get that information. Okay, so take that with you. I hope you have an amazing week. Remember, if you're not on the newsletter, get on that news train. Link is below. Those of you that are, Libra New Moon webinar in your inbox. And is there anything else? Yes, Self-Care Challenge. The Instagram Live is tomorrow, the 26th at 3:30 p.m. Pacific. 3 people going to win big. I am so excited. Do you see what I did there? Sun opposition to Jupiter, expansive, growth, big, luck. It's the planet of luck. So we got 3 winners. I love astrology. All right, have a wonderful week. Talk to you soon. Bye. This is Graham Breitenstein, and you've been listening to This Week with Drunk Astrology. If you want to follow Drunk Astrology, head to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and hit that follow button. And if you want to learn how to put astrology in motion for you, head to drunkastro.com and get on the insider list. If you haven't already, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google platforms. Tune in next week for yet another opportunity to work in sync with the stars. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.